If you're happy to proceed, please mention in the chat box. Otherwise, feel free to ask any question. Happy to proceed. Okay, perfect. That's brilliant. We've got a very nice attendance today as well. Class trends quite good, positive. So planning and risk assessment stage. Again, this is one of the most important stages. Basically, it's like the foundation of your audit process. Planning and risk assessment includes you are setting the terms of engagement here. You are actually signing the engagement letter. Basically, engagement letter is like mm, you are giving the client and yourself, the auditor, are giving this relationship an official significance. Everything is now documented in a letter. You know your responsibilities, the client knows their responsibilities, you mutually sign them. Okay. It includes the kind of work the auditor will be doing in line with what standards, what benchmarks, and also the audit fee that they're going to charge. One of the copies of the engagement letter is with the client, the other copy is with the auditor, and then you go on setting the audit strategy and audit plan. Now, audit strategy is basically revolves around uh, the timing, the extent of your audit process of your audit procedures. It includes basically it's like a basic plan, right? It's like a basic plan of what uh, the resource deployment about the uh, somebody has their mic on, please. Could you turn your mic off, please? Yeah. Yep. So it's about resource deployment. It's about um, what what areas you'd focus as the auditor, and audit plan is basically goes in a bit more detailed, right? So audit strategy is like a basic document whereby you are planning the you're devising the steps that you will take in order to assess the risk and identify and assess the risk. And audit plan goes in a bit more detailed. Okay, so plan is basically an implementation of whatever you discussed within the audit strategy. Thereafter, once that's done, you obtain an understanding of the entity and its environment. This is very important. This just because if you don't have an adequate understanding of what the entity does, and its environment basically means the systems, like I always say, the processes, if they've got a CCTV cameras in their on their entrance, if they've got two different senior personnel reviewing the work of their juniors, if they've got uh, good softwares in their place, or if they've got different people for different tasks. So these are called some of the controls. Environment could be what's the size of the company, how many employees are there, what departments are there, what technology do they use. You need to have adequate understanding of these areas. How many, how do they do sales? How do they perform purchases? What's the inventory procurement process and everything? Once you have got adequate understanding of these areas, honestly speaking, and along with internal controls, you'll be able to identify and address the risk properly later on. Assessment of associated risk leading to determining materiality. Now, once you have determined the risk arising from from this particular entity, its environment, and also the internal controls. Once you know the potential risky areas, you go on to determining your materiality. Okay, what is materiality, sir? Materiality basically is like a benchmark. Okay, I won't go into detail, but materiality is like a of benchmark to examine whether or not a particular issue is significant or not. Okay, we say like you guys should know that audit is never done, is never performed. Um, audit is performed on sample basis. Audit is performed on we cannot examine 100% all the transactions. It's not 100% verification. It's performed. It's on sample basis. So uh, in order to distinguish if a matter is significant or not within that particular sample, you need some sort of benchmark, some sort of tool, mm, some sort of tool to measure if that particular issue is significant or not. And that tool, that measure is called materiality. Okay. Some, yeah. So in this in this stage, now the fieldwork testing stage, uh, now this is the stage whereby you have done all the due diligence. You have done your homework, you have done your research. Now it's game time now. Now it's the time when you actually start visiting the client premises, the client office,
Waray pa rin sa mall na tali.
and you start now you start you start examining the accuracy of the financial statements using various tests. Now here's the stage whereby you are actually either performing test of controls or substantive procedures. Okay, just give me a second. Now there's something I need to write in here. Comment. Yep. Okay. Now, in fieldwork stage, what we're talking about? Yeah. So this is here the real game begins. You're actually performing test of controls or substantive procedures, either test of details or analytical procedures. You're visiting the client, you're asking them questions, you're reviewing, you're either inspecting the records, inspecting the assets, you're asking the client questions. So and you're addressing the risk that you identified previously at this stage, which is your planning and risk assessment stage. Okay. Mm. And now, lastly, you have got your completion and reporting stage, which is your final stage, or whereby you can say, now we are about to finalize everything. We are in the process of compiling everything, consolidating our results, the evidence that we have gathered during this time, and we are about to determine and express our opinion based on everything that we have, based on the information that we have gathered during this time, based on the evidence that we have obtained. Okay, so your completion and reporting stage includes In this stage, you got two types of opinion. You've got your unmodified opinion and you've got your modified opinion, okay? So we'll go through them in later. We'll go through them later because if I tell you what modified opinion is right now, what qualified opinion is, uh, you might be you'll go in a state of mind-boggling, okay? I don't want to play with your brains right now. It might be too much to digest. But for the time being, all you need to remember is that completion and reporting stage is the stage whereby you are gathering all the evidence, compiling everything, and you're about to express your opinion. So your opinion can either be uh, unmodified opinion and or your opinion could be a modified opinion. The basic difference between these two is or unmodified opinion means a clean opinion whereby you are saying that we are happy based on the information that we have gathered, we have gained, we are happy that the financial statements are fine. They are present true and fair view. There is no problem with them. And to the best of our knowledge, we can't say it for sure because auditors express reasonable assurance. Let me type. Performed on sample as as audit sorry as auditors express reasonable assurance, not absolute assurance. Okay, do you know what that means? Reasonable assurance means that we are reasonably sure that there is no problem in the financials. Absolute assurance is like a guarantee. You cannot guarantee being an auditor. You can't guarantee, can you? Because you're not even testing everything. If you're not testing everything, you can't guarantee if everything's fine. So why you're not testing everything? Because you can't test everything. It's a human limitation. Uh, can you really test 1,000 transactions? Um, uh, Say there's a sales revenue worth $5 million. Okay, sorry, $50 million. Can you verify and test the whole of $50 million? You can't. That's why you will pick up a sample out of those 1,000 transactions leading up to that $50 million. Okay. And now if you're only expressing your opinion based on the sample that you have gathered, you cannot express absolute assurance. You can't give a guarantee. All you can give is a reasonable assurance. Then reasonably, I'm reasonably sure. Okay, and modified opinion is so we are done with unmodified opinion, which is your clean opinion. The second opinion is your modified opinion, okay, which is like your qualified, adverse, or disclaimer. Now modified opinion is an opinion where the auditor is frowning upon. In simple layman terms, he'll be like, it's not, there's a problem here. I'm not very happy. Okay. I'm not happy because of this matter. I think that there is a problem in the financial statements because of matter XYZ. Okay. And now there might be three different types of modifications, three different types of modified opinions. Think of these modified opinions as in um, uh, three different categories within modified opinion. You can express a qualified opinion, you can adverse an adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion. Okay, disclaimer basically means you're not even expressing any opinion at all. You're not expressing, you are saying we are not expressing